Hi warriors, and welcome to another weekly blog post by me, Certified Life and Parent Coach. I work with women to help empower them so that they realize their feelings come from their thoughts, and when we realize that, we can manage our minds, which leads us to a much calmer and more peaceful place as moms, parents, partners, everything, showing up as our best selves. I welcome all the moms, dads, women, and men, however you show up as a warrior. Thanks for listening. This week's blog post is about sending my son, my eldest son, to college. My son is going to college. Gulp. My son is going to college. Hooray! The fact my son is leaving for college has created both reactions for me. How can this be? Sure, I know life has highs and lows, but how can I feel such a range of emotions for the same event? Interestingly, it happens quite a lot. Think of moving or renovating your house. You can feel excitement for what was in your old house. You can feel excitement for what will be in your new house while still feeling nostalgia for what was in your old house. Before, you tear the walls down, you think, oh, my son measured himself there the first time. How about when your child begins middle school? You can feel excitement for his or her new experiences that will be in middle school and the new independence, yet sorrow that he or she is leaving her innocent elementary school days behind. How can this be? How can we feel such a range of emotions, highs and lows, with the same event? As a cognitive coach, I know exactly how. We feel the way we feel based on the thoughts we focus on. We don't feel the way we feel based on the circumstance, our child going to college, our new house, our child going to middle school. No. How do we know our thoughts create our feelings? Because the same event can make people feel very different things. Take this event. Say you get home today and your partner tells you he or she got a new cat. I'll bet for every 10 of you listening, there would be 10 different thoughts about your partner getting a new cat for your house, and thus 10 different emotions. Why? Because our thoughts about our partner getting a new cat would be quite different. I might think, how kind, he knows I love cats. Or I might think, how insensitive, he knows I dislike cats. Or, what an ass, why didn't he think what I thought, etc. It's not the act that causes us to feel a certain way, it's our thought about the circumstance. Same thing with our kid going off to college, but because it's such a momentous event, we can focus on different thoughts at different times of the day. Here's the hard truth. You're the adult. You get to decide how you feel as you move through this process and into a different stage of your life. The thoughts we focus on create the feelings we feel. One of the greatest skills of emotional intelligence is choosing ahead of time how we want to feel and then managing our mind to focus on those thoughts. If we choose to focus on the following thoughts, how will we feel? Life will never be the same. He'll be lonely. I've been a great mom. I've raised a great kid. He'll struggle. He'll have new experiences. Did you notice a difference when you thought he'll be lonely versus I've been a great mom? Both are true. Facts. So it's up to you to decide which thought you want to focus on. You cannot do anything about his loneliness. He will be lonely. He or she needs to process that feeling in the same way that you need to process your loneliness. No one can do it for you, and no one can do it for him or her. You get to process your emotions and move forward. Oh, dear Susie. Here we are again, talking about processing those emotions. Well, if you're anything like me, you were not taught how to feel your difficult emotions. And so maybe you've spent your life eating, shopping, stuffing, or yelling your emotions away instead of processing them. Let's change that. Consider this a crash course in emotional intelligence 101, like we're going to college, okay? How do we process our emotions? I will give you 3 tools that work well for me, but the most crucial piece is the first step, which is becoming what I call a compassionate observer or a kind watcher in your life. Simply put, be kind to yourself by allowing yourself to feel whatever the heck you're feeling without judging or criticizing yourself. When you can step outside your head, like say you have all these things happening, but you can step up here and outside of your head and watch or observe what's going on around you and in your head, you will be far more in control of your emotions and thus the results of your life. For example, when you can pause with your spoon poised over the half-gallon of ice cream and think, I'm sad and missing my child. I'm not hungry, but I'm trying to shove these emotions down with food. Chances you putting the spoon down are much greater than if you just take that spoon and shovel it in. Okay? Here are 3 ways to process your emotion that don't involve eating ice cream, wine, food, shopping, scrolling Facebook, Netflix, or yelling. 1. Move some energy. Put your sneakers on and go for a walk, a run, or even a crawl. Emotions are energy in motion, and when you're moving, you allow yourself to feel them without being paralyzed by them. Number 2, get still. Yeah, this seems like it's in contrast to number 1, get moving, but it is equally effective. Stop, close your eyes, sit, feel. Yes, feel. Where do you feel the emotions in your body? Where do you feel the sadness in your body? Where do you feel loneliness? Describe it like you're describing it to an alien. For me, when I feel sad, I feel it in my eyes, they feel tingly, and my throat feels sort of itchy, as if I'm about ready to cry. If I feel anxious, I feel it in my chest, and it's hard for me to breathe. Get specific. What do you feel? Close your eyes and describe them. Emotions are energy, and by describing how the actual emotion feels, it allows it to move through you. 3, start writing. When we're in a state of busy and move, we don't realize which thoughts we're choosing to focus on. This is dangerous because, if you listen to the beginning of this post or any other post that I've done, the thoughts we focus on create the feelings we feel. Part of being an emotional adult is learning to manage your mind. How do you want to feel about your child going to college? Dump your thoughts out on your head onto the paper. Dump the thoughts in your head out onto paper or onto a computer screen and see which thoughts you're focusing on. Those thoughts are creating the feelings you're feeling. If you want to keep feeling the way you're feeling, then keep thinking the thoughts you're thinking. Those are the 3 steps. Does taking one or all of the above steps make the emotion go away? No, but it does lessen it in the moment, and it allows you to feel, breathe, and move on in your day. This doesn't mean that you will be skipping down the sidewalk when you think of your kid going to college, but it does mean that you process it. Emotions are like waves. They come and go. I went through the first 30 plus years of my life dulling and numbing my emotions with food, either eating or not eating, exercising, and busyness. You name it. There was a piece of me that was afraid to feel my feelings, as I thought I'd end up on the bathroom floor sobbing and unable to get up. Like you enter some deep, dark hole you can't escape from if you actually sit and feel your feelings. It's actually the opposite. Depression is defined as the suppression of emotions. So landing in that dark hole or ending up on the floor, not being able to get up, comes from us pushing away our emotions or pushing past our emotions instead of feeling them. Please join me as I now choose to be awake and no longer push away the difficult emotions. I choose to experience the life that I've created. I no longer choose to bypass feeling my difficult emotions. I choose to live a full and vibrant life. And because of that, I'm going to feel a full and vibrant array of emotions. Yeah, I was just crying this morning at Starbucks with a dear friend who also is sending her son to college. I embrace my tears as I embrace my laughs. Both add a dimension and fullness to my life that are part of my experience here on earth. So hey, parents, anything you're feeling is fine. Depending on which thought I'm focusing on, I may feel happy, sad, lonely, heartbroken, worried, or full of pride. All of those are fine. What's not fine is to not feel or to tell yourself to stop feeling what you're feeling. It's also not okay to sit and wallow and not do anything. Do the work. Pick up a journal, start writing, put on your shoes, get out there, sit still, do the work. Don't just sit there and complain. It will not help you process the emotions. Choose a tool and process these strong emotions in a kind and compassionate way to yourself. It's not okay to be mean to your inner warrior by ignoring your feelings and telling yourself to get over it and move on. That only leads you to drama and destructive behaviors. Feel, cry, laugh, do what you need to do, but mostly Treat yourself kindly and with compassion. Become that compassionate observer of your life, the kind watcher, and your life will change for the better. Thank you. Go get 'em, warriors.